What's going on, Military Cashflow? Welcome to another episode. How are you doing today, Mike?
Doing good, man. I can't complain. I'm doing well, should I say? Let's use proper grammar here. Nah, man, I'm doing well. The team's rocking and rolling. I'll tell you what, man. I'm gonna put out a video here down the line about this nightmare refinance that I have going on. It's been ridiculous. It's now over 7 months from whence the process started on the refi.
On a refinance?
Started.
But on a refinance?
Yes, I own the properties 100%. They were fully renovated and fully occupied, and it's still taking 7 months. A lot of this stuff has to do with the appraisers saying that the market was a tertiary market, that I have to drive an hour to get out there. I was like, hey, I'll pay you extra. They was like, well, we don't want to be affected by COVID. I'm like, all right, now you're pissing me off. Put on a mask. Get your ass out there. So I'll make a video about it. But beyond that, man, I mean, that's finally wrapping up. We finally closed 2 of the properties. We're finally fully refinanced. There's 1 more. And so we'll see where that goes. But beyond that, man, I'm doing well. How about yourself, man? What's going on with you?
Dude, I'm doing awesome, man. We got to talk to one of my former coworkers, SSG Wang, and she's doing amazing things. At any time that I hear great things from people that I've worked with in the past, especially when it involves real estate, like that's really motivating. Like that's that fulfillment. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of things that people get fulfillment out of life, but one of the things that I really, really, truly get fulfillment out of is when I see other people doing great things, and it's not usually just only in the military. It's mainly when they're doing things in their personal life, because I feel like when you do great things in your personal life, it automatically kind of transfers over to the military life, but you have a bigger effect on people. In my opinion, I think that you have a larger effect and a larger reach on people when you're doing things in your personal life, because that truly transforms people and changes their entire life. I'm really, really passionate about that. I really get pumped up when I speak to people and they're doing great things, and I just love it, man. That's why you guys hear about me bragging on people all the time. Like, yeah, my buddy Mike's doing this. I got a buddy Jamil's doing this. My buddy, this guy's doing this. This guy, like, I get so much fulfillment off of seeing my friends do great things and people that I know do great things. It's just awesome to see the journey and see the progression of people. So that's one thing I've been reflecting on lately, is just getting in contact with my friends, or the people that I typically talk to. I got people that I've been in our own little mastermind groups for like years, and all those plans that they made, or that we talked about, 5, 6, 4 or 5 years ago, they're all coming to fruition, and they're actually, really starting to gain steam. And I don't know, man, it's really, really rewarding to hear that. Or even if I had like the smallest little, part in it, even if I was just a sounding board of an idea that a person had, 4 years ago, and to see it come to fruition, it's just awesome, man. So get off my soapbox. I'll get off my soapbox now.
No, man. But it is super empowering. And Shelby and I were talking about that the other day too, just seeing how many lives that we can impact, because like you mentioned, it's not necessarily about that one individual that you've impacted. Once you impact that one individual, who knows who they're going to out there to reach, right? And not to say, because we're both extremely humble in the fact that we understand that we're just sharing information. We're not taking credit for anybody else's success with that information, right? But for example, there was somebody who inspired Jim Rohn. Jim Rohn then inspired Tony Robbins. And just when you start seeing like that, how many lives did those individuals impact, right? That's what kind of brings it all home for me as well. So, and one thing I love about today's podcast is she expresses her gratitude towards you about everything that you impacted her on her journey, but she is so relatable. Her story is so pure in a sense, right? She tells about her journey coming from China as an immigrant, being very accomplished here in the States, even with a master's degree, and still being required to join the military just to get citizenship. But none of that slowed her down. As soon as she heard about the blueprint, she just followed it step by step. She didn't overcomplicate it. And in less than a year, she has 2 duplexes, 4 rental units, but crushing it, great cash flow. And then boom, sitting in Germany, ready to get her 3rd when she gets back. Super powerful.
It's crazy, man. And it just a sneak peek. I mean, she's cash flowing over $2,000 off of two duplexes because she had the foresight to kind of try to pay one off as early as possible. So it's just like this story is amazing. I think and if you guys have listened to some of the past episodes, there's two soldiers that I brag on pretty often. I'm like, hey, I've had these two soldiers, and they started taking action, and now they have two duplexes, or now they're doing this, now they're doing that. And she's one of the two soldiers. So I'm really, really happy that she wanted to come on and share her stories with others in hopes to inspire others. She's literally, at the time before she PCS'd, she was living rent free, she was cash flowing, and she was saving all of her BAH. Think about what that would do for you in your situation. If you want the blueprint, stay tuned and listen to the episode. What's going on, Military Cashflow family? Today, we have a very special guest. Military Wang's in the house. She's a former coworker of mine, and she's doing absolutely great things. Mincy, thank you so much for coming on the show. Please let us know a little bit about yourself, where you're at, and what you're doing.
My name is Military Wang. I'm a staff sergeant serving in the U.S. Army, stationed in Germany right now. I was born and raised in China. I came to United States in 2009 and joined military in 2016. Fort Drum was my first duty station. I was there for 5 years. During that 5 years, I bought 2 duplex house over there. And this February, I just PCS to Germany, start my journey here. Yeah, that's about my background.
Nice. How long are you going to be in Germany?
Should be 3 years. We'll see.
Okay. And that's very typical for military folks to get PCS like that. But it was great that you were able to establish 2 rental properties. Sorry, right. 4 rental properties, because it's 2 different duplexes, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
How are you enjoying Germany? What's that like up there? Where are you at? And where are you getting to travel? I mean, I know the COVID situation and everything. I'm just curious. Yeah. I know it's off question, but.
Yeah, I travel a little bit, but it's not fun because everything closed. But they just reopened, started like this week.
Okay, nice. So you get to use a little bit of traveling out there and how that goes. So let's get into it then. Let's talk about where your financial journey started at. Where did your financial journey start? As far as leading you up into getting those duplexes, or so you joined the Army, and then what happened from there?
So my journey started from battalion staff duty in 2019. I remember it was late July, August-ish. So I had a 24-hour staff duty with another soldier in my unit. So we just chat. I said, hey, what's going on? What are you doing right now? He said he was looking for a house. I said, okay, cool. It's good for your family. He has 2 kids with him. But I didn't realize like I could do that, buy a house as well, because I was single, live off post, use BH, pay my rent. I was happy for him, but I didn't really think about if I can do it, same thing. But then he started talking. He said he talked to our commander by that time, which is Captain Wynn. By that time, he told him a lot of stuff about military. You should buy a house, and then when you PCS, rent this house and keep doing every time PCS buy a house. And that was what he did all the time. So when he mentioned the captain did this all the time, it really make me think about, oh, maybe I can do that too. Because working with this captain, I know he's awesome leader. I trust his word. If he said that's what he did all the time, I really think I should do that too. So I just thought about this for a couple of weeks, and I was thinking there must be something like the figure factor in that. Otherwise, it sounds too easy. You pocket your BH and it's too easy. But after 2 weeks, I don't think anything can fail this business. So I put a leave form for 2 weeks leave in September. And then I use this 2 weeks leave, start looking for a house, and I found my first duplex.
Yeah, that's awesome, man.
You're talking about this Captain Wing guy, man. Like this guy in the third person. I don't know. He sounds like an okay dude. But That's amazing. So I just want to highlight there, right? So a lot of people will hear information and it pretty much goes in one ear and out the other, right? So
Right.
what about that information resonated with you? Why did it just stick and you really decided to push forward after that?
Because I trust you. If you say that's what you did all the time, that's definitely I need to follow. I'm not expert on everything, so you need to be humble to listen. Who is the expert in that field? I just follow the instruction.
Yeah, I really like that because, in the military, very specifically, not every leader is going to be a good leader, great leader, or
Mhm.
anything like that. But you do have those few leaders that actually walk the walk in every aspect of life, whether it's physical fitness, financial fitness, relationship fitness, whatever the case may be. And when you do find them, it's refreshing. Like you're talking about, it was refreshing to have an officer in front of you or a leader in front of you who was showing you the way. He was literally doing it himself. And it makes it easy for somebody just getting started to kind of figure
Right.
out what that blueprint is and move forward.
Mhm.
That's awesome. Now, I want to ask you a question. I'm going to back it up just a little bit because you said that you came over to the States in 2009. Was that
Yeah.
right? So what
Right.
brought you over from China to the States?
I came to States for school.
Okay.
So yeah, I got my master's degree, and since I arrived in the United States, I love this country. I want to be a part of it. But it
Yeah.
was so hard. It's still so hard for Chinese citizens to get naturalized. So I
Okay.
was waiting and try to find a way until 2016. I heard there was a program called Mavni program. That recruitment program was able to help immigrants get citizenship, and so we serve Army help us get citizenship. So that's how I joined the
Okay.
military. Yeah.
Yeah, and I hear that often from immigrants who want to get naturalized, get their citizenship. They'll join the
Yeah.
military because there's many different reasons to join. But you came into the military with a master's degree, correct?
Right.
And with
Right.
that program, they wouldn't allow you to commission as an officer.
No, because
Okay.
when I joined, I was still Chinese citizen.
Okay. Okay.
Mm.
Learning something every day. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe soon, man. Maybe we might see a Lieutenant Wang out there. That'd be pretty. I think that'd be pretty good for the Army. That'd be pretty dope, man. But let's get back into the duplex. Can you go over some of the numbers for that and how that went and what that process looked like um as far as you finding it and then you financing it and so on and so forth?
So my first duplex, I use a VA loan, so you can avoid the down payment. The first house cost me 117,000, and then because I had a saving, so I just paid off very quick. I use this property after I paid off. I use this property to get a refinance for my second duplex.
Nice.
Yes,
So did you not use a VA loan or anything like that in your acquisition?
for my first duplex, I used the VA loan,
And not for the second one though?
not for the second one.
Okay.
Mm.
Okay. A
That's
million ways to
Because
skin a cat.
I got the second one right before I PCSed.
Okay.
Since I'm not gonna live there anymore, VA not gonna be proved.
Got you.
Yeah.
Got you. So I love that because there's a million ways. There's so many ways to buy properties. And, one of the ways that we always preach is the VA loan, which you did for the first one. Now, most of our audience knows we can use that VA loan over and over and over again, as
Right.
long as you have enough eligibility. But that brings up a good point. You were just about to PCS. Now that,
Right.
the lender is going to look at it and be like, well, look, your military orders say Germany. How are you going to use a VA loan here? So you have to be creative with that. But I love the idea of the refinance of the first one. But let me ask you, what was your thought process for paying off the first one? You said you had savings. What was your thought process behind it?
Right. It's just my culture tradition. We have a saving. I had a saving when I was 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So I just don't want to have any debt. I would just want to pay off. But later on, the more I learn about real estate, the more I think maybe I shouldn't do that, but it was too late.
Yeah.
okay. So
Yeah, maybe
you
I should use those money to pay as other down payment to get more house. Yeah.
Okay.
That's okay. So, I mean, so you paid off that first duplex. It's completely paid off. You have one that's free and clear right now.
Yeah.
Nice, man. There's not too many guests that we talk to that completely pay it off, but I mean, I'm sure that's a freeing feeling that, you know, you don't have to worry about it at all. Like that's just one, like you said, you have zero debt on that, and you're able to cash flow 100% on that one property. So how'd you find that duplex?
Realtor.com. Just keep looking.
All right. Did the
Yeah.
realtor.com, what the process look like for you? I mean, so at that point you're an E5, you're just going out looking for your first home. You don't know what you don't know, right? Walk us through that. Where was your mind at? You know, do you have any nervous spots? I mean, especially like talk to the other soldiers that might be going through that or might be about to go through that right now. What are some things that, you know, you were thinking about, and what are some of those things that helped you overcome any thoughts that, you know, that might have taken you out of buying that duplex?
Really, I didn't have any thought to quit this. I just followed the instruction. As I said, the captain did this so many times, so they're gonna be right. It has to be this way. So I just keep forward. The only thing I was considering is if I don't want this house, can I sell this house? Is someone interesting to buy this house? But I think my house pretty nice, and also I renovate a little bit. It's pretty cool. Before I paid the house, I hire an inspector to check the house. Really nothing wrong with it. So I was confident if one day I will sell this house, someone will buy it. And also since the house so close to post, you know, solar PCS here, PCS out, don't worry about customer. You always will have someone.
See, I love this because this is exactly, I would say, the opposite of analysis paralysis, right? So many newer investors will hear information, say it came from the same person, say it came from Dan, and they're hearing it. They're like, okay, I got it. I see what you're saying to do. I see the step-by-step instruction. However, you know, Bigger Pockets says this, and this says this, and now I got all this information overload. And you simplify the process. You say, hey, there's a blueprint. I'm going to follow it. Step 1, step 2, step 3. Yes, I am going to do some research to make sure that I'm not just blindly following it, but it's very minimal research. Hey, where's the distance to the post? Make sure the inspection report came back well. Make sure if I had to, could I sell this and get most of my money back, if not more? So it's like, perfect. Now you went in and see the fact that you took action allowed you to acquire 4 rental units in a very short time. And now you're sitting back in Germany, living the best life. And then you got 4 rental units, and that's just from taking action. So kudos to you. That's amazing.
And one is completely paid off. That's awesome. So that duplex, right? What is it? Can you go over some of the numbers? I know you said you bought it for like, I think 117. Now this is in Fort Drum. This is like Watertown, New York. So you bought it for 117 and you lived in one unit for a time, right? And then you rented out the other unit. Can you break down some of those numbers and what that looked like for you? And then also, what did it do for you financially?
So I was an E5 receiving BAH with dependent. I have a second dependence. So the BAH rate was about $1,300. So before I bought a duplex, I paid $900 for rent. I paid for a year because I have nobody taught us how to do the real estate. Never think about that. So just to pay $900 for a year. And then since I got the duplex, I was able to pocket the BH $1,300 and then receive the rent from tenant $850 every month.
Nice. So you're receiving $850 every month. You're pocketing your BAH, but what was your mortgage at that time?
Mortgage was $650-ish.
Oh yeah.
So wait a minute. So just to break that down. So you bought a duplex. Good. So
the house around Watertown is really old. My duplex was over 100 years old.
Nothing wrong with that.
It's just old, but it's good foundation. The logs from 100 years ago is so good, so steady. It's still like the best, not bad at all.
And that's one thing I love about real estate. I just want to highlight that real quick before we get back to the numbers with Dan, but understand that quality construction lasts a very long time. Then when you maintain it, it lasts even longer. And the most beautiful aspect about real estate that I love is when you own real estate, you truly own the land. So if that house decided to finally have to be torn down or be rebuilt or whatever, it's fine. You have insurance in place for this, something like that, if it was a disaster that caused it, but you also own the land that you can then continue to hold until you have the cash to redevelop again. So you can't go wrong with that. So it doesn't matter if it's 100 years, 200 years old, might want to do a little bit more inspections, but it doesn't really matter as long as the numbers make sense. But go ahead and get back to the numbers, Dan. I know those are amazing.
So just to recap really quick. I mean, because I think this is absolute phenomenal. This is literally, you are the blueprint, right? Like what you've done is a blueprint, and you can outline and show that to so many other people and how that works. So you're saying you bought an asset for $117,000. Your mortgage was $650, and you're living in one side for free. Your other tenant is paying $850. So you're essentially, and you were self-managing, correct? You didn't have a property manager. Yeah. So you were self-managing, you were getting some other experience on on how to manage your properties, right? And what a property manager kind of goes through. So, and you were collecting $850 in rent. So that's $200 that you were cash flowing, right? And you were able to pocket your $1,350, I think you said, for your BAH. $1,300 for BAH. If you're listening to this, really think about that. Just write down those numbers, and then I want you to think about what that would do for you in your situation. What would you do with an extra, whatever your BAH is for your rate, for your area? Let's just say it's $1,000. What would you do with an extra $1,000 a month and not have to worry about paying rent? So that's effectively, that's like, a $2,000 difference right there. If you think about what you're collecting, well, I guess it's not really 2,000. It's really just the difference in the BAH. But either way, just think about what you can do in your situation and how that would affect you financially. I think that's just absolutely phenomenal. And you talked about you did some renovation. Can you walk us through that and what that looked like, and why did you decide to do renovation?
The previous owner had the style previous owner had. I didn't like it. The carpet, I didn't like it. It's just easy to get dirty. I was thinking if I move out, someone move in, if they have a pet, they're gonna make it worse. And the wall color, I didn't like it. So I repainted the wall, took off the wallpaper, took out the fireplace. Some people like the fireplace in the living room, but I didn't like it. Its style is too old, I feel like. So I just changed those things and took off the carpet and put on the vinyl floor. Actually, me and another soldier, we did this by ourselves. So proud of us. We learned from YouTube. I did the painting with another friend. She was a soldier too. So just ourselves, we all did by ourselves. And I did upstairs. So later on, my tenants move out. So I was able to paint the upstairs before next tenants move in. I did that with another friend. Yeah, so we all did it by ourselves.
You're just getting free labor all over the place. Yeah, man. That's crazy.
Yes.
See,
that's why you need to have a friend.
Exactly. And I think that's so important for people to hear, is because a lot of people getting started want to say, hey, I don't have money. I don't have money. I don't have money. I don't have time. But understand that, your first one, it can be slower. You can take your time. You can do all the repairs yourself. You can do the paint, change out the floors. You can, make those small repairs, YouTube it or Google it while you're doing it, get a friend to help you. And all in all, once that first one is up, the experience that you got from there, even if it took you 3 months longer, 4 months longer than the typical timeline, that's okay. That's okay, because now you're cash flowing. You have these beautiful properties up and running. You now know the process. And so the next time it can be much smoother. And if you don't want to do it yourself, you at least now know what to tell the contractor to do in order to get it rented.
And know what right looks like for the most part too.
Right.
Yeah. So I want to just touch a few more things on the duplex before we move on to the next one, and how you chose to do that. But with this one, I remember I remember you telling me you had property management issue. Well, not property management issue. You were having some issues with your tenants. What are some of the things you learned as a property manager? Because you chose to self-manage and that's something that a lot of investors don't do. But I think it's crucial to your development as a real estate investor, right? Because I think that's just something that everyone should do at some point, just to kind of get a feel for it, right? What are some of the reasons why you chose to self-manage? And then two, what are some of the experiences that you went through that helped you in your next deal?
Okay, so when I bought the house, the tenant was there already for 5 years. So at that point, I feel like it kind of waste to hire a property manager to do the job. And because I was living there as well, so I didn't hire the property manager at that time. But later on, since the tenants were there for 5 years, I'm like single Asian female owner, new owner. So the tenant thought he was the owner of this house because he's there longer. So he told me something about the house, whatever. But I didn't like it. I feel like he took advantage of me, and later on we had a heat issue. The fireplace he been using for 5 years was fine until I moved in. He picked something. He said, "Hey, this one needs to fix, blah blah blah." And I said, "Okay, I can change the fireplace, but it cost me another $3,000." I said, "If I do that, I want to raise the rent a little bit, maybe it's $20-$30, or I can change the electricity heat system, which costs me less, but your bill will goes up. So let me know which option you want to go. Either rent go higher a little bit, or the gas bill go higher. It's up to you. Let me know." He didn't let me know. And then later on, he complained. He said, "Hey, I need my full rent back because I didn't have a heat." He did have a heat. He got a heater from his friend. I offered a heater as well, but he said, "Oh, I'm okay with my friend heater." Then later he complained he want the whole rent back. I said, "No, I give you option. You didn't let me know what do you want." And then he tried to sue me by our complaint. Then COVID happened. The court closed. So yeah, so after that he moved out. And then I was done with this property manager. I don't want to do it anymore. It's not worth it. So because you need to learn the law stuff, I don't have time for this. So the lessons I learned from this, let professionals do professionals. Let them do their job.
Yes.
10% is not bad. It's worth it. No headache. So after that,
go ahead, keep going.
yeah, after that, I hired a property manager. Yeah, from local.
I think the property manager thing is so underrated. Everybody wants to do it in the beginning, and that's perfectly fine. But you quickly learned that that wasn't your thing. You didn't like it. You didn't enjoy it. You're exactly right. I abide by that. Hire a professional right out the gate. Let them do their job. That's what they do. They know the law. They answer the calls. They deal with the complaints. They deal with all the negotiations. You sit back and you get your paycheck, and you don't have to worry about doing this stuff with the tenant. So that 10%, it may seem a lot to some people across the board, but 10% to pay for peace of mind. Oh, I'll do it all day, every day, all day.
Peace of mind and your property, because I mean, a property manager's job should really be to save you money, right? So if your property manager is not, in a sense, saving you that 10% by going and inspecting your home, making sure that your tenant doesn't mess it up, or my property manager send out emails with like just little small things like the AC, like, hey, change your little AC, and they come and do an inspection once a year just to maintain the property and see what it looks like. I mean, that deferred maintenance, what deferred maintenance is when things don't happen or things don't get fixed in your property over time, and it tends to cost more money over time if it doesn't get fixed early, right? So I mean, if you think about it, your property manager should be catching a lot of those things in your absence while you're not doing it. And then also they deal with the tenants. They're collecting rent. They're dealing with those difficult tenants, helping you make those decisions as far as all right, this tenant's been here for 5 years. He might not have been paying market rent. I can almost bet he wasn't paying market rent at that time. If he lived there for 5 years, he probably didn't get his rent increased at all. And he was paying $850 at first, I think.
Mhm.
And then, I mean, maybe that place really should have been $900 or $950, but he'd been living there for 5 years, so didn't change that at all. And then it seems like he already had a somewhat of complex saying like, you know, this is pretty much my property. I've lived here longer than you type deal. So, but they deal with all that stuff, which is extremely helpful. And just like Mike said, is a big peace of mind issue right there. So you went and you hired a different property manager, and you put a new tenant in. And did you increase rent at that point, or did you fix any of those issues at that point, or what did that look like?
So after the difficult tenant moved out, I repainted the upstairs. I think that's all I did. Or I changed the curtain. Yeah, little things make house looks nice. It's easy for the advertise. So yeah, I got my second tenant perfect. Married soldier, but spouse not Apple drum. So basically he's single, live in there. No issues at all.
Never even mentioned the heat, huh?
Never. I changed the furniture, by the way. Yeah, I paid $3,000, but the rent went up as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
That's excellent. So hired the property manager. And now you've moved out at that point, right? So what does that property look like now for you?
Passive income.
Passive income. So how much were you able to rent your unit out for that you were previously living in?
Right now, both units rent out at $895.
Nice.
And the property manager charged 8.5%.
Nice.
Because I have a 2 duplex, so he gave me a better deal.
Yeah, you know, I got the 2 duplexes now, so you know.
Yeah, and I love that because you know, everybody's worried about the 10%, 10%. But if you truly intend to be a real estate investor in the sense of, hey, this is a lifelong accumulation of properties and wealth, then your portfolio is going to grow. And if you establish a decent sized portfolio in whatever that area is, you can always negotiate for those management fees. And I abide by that because, you know, everywhere I go, it doesn't matter what market, I want to try to get at least like 4 to 5 doors at a bare minimum, because now you have bargaining power, right? Now you have economies of scale and things of that nature. And you're already seeing that just by being able to reduce the property management. And you guys can do the math, you know, 1.5% a month may not seem like a lot, but if you add that up year over year as rents increase and everything else, absolutely, that's a huge savings. That's another good one.
So you're just straight up cash flowing freaking basically $1,800, around $1,800 free and clear, and I'm not even worrying about anything. That is absolute. Hey, I'm clapping. If you guys listen, I'm clapping it up for Sergeant Wang over here. She's just absolutely crushing it, and that's amazing. So so you moved out, and right before you moved, you started looking for another duplex. Why? Can you walk us through that process and where your mind was at during that time? Was it just, hey, I want to accumulate. I'm in accumulation mode right now, or I'm in acquisition mode right now, or what were you thinking during that time?
Okay, actually, in the May 2020, I thought about ETS. I was stuck at for drum for too long because I had some difficult time because my background. I was born in China. I got flagged in the army for foreign ties and the financial ties. So I was fighting for the case for 17 months. I was kind of like, if you don't fix now, I'm done. So I thought about ETS. And then also it bring me next question, what's my plan? What I'm gonna do? So I want to do the real estate, and also I want to buy a house before I ETS. That way I don't worry about like no job for 3 months or whatever. But in order to apply a loan, you need a W-2, you need income. So I was thinking, okay, time to buy another one before I ETS. So I will start searching house for the second house to prepare ETS. So around the same time, September-ish, I started looking for the second house. And then I reached out to my first realtor agent, and she was wonderful. So we worked together. I found the house a month later, October, and start the process with the bank.
Nice. And that's an ultimate hedge, and that's not something I've heard very often. So you're like, hey, I'm thinking about ETS and I think I might get out. Let me just figure out something to bring in consistent cash flow, right? And allow me to kind of gather myself and figure out what I'm going to do and while I create my plan, right? I'm assuming that's what it sounds like was your mindset at that point. And I want to do real estate anyway, so I might as well go ahead and do this while I have the W-2 and the pay to support me, right? So I think that's a great idea for, I guess, those that are ETS. That's something to consider for sure. Especially if you can pay off a duplex cash or pay off an asset cash and then cash flow free and clear, which is amazing. So started looking, you got your realtor, and you guys worked together to find your duplex, your next duplex. Were you looking around the same area? Were you trying to look around the same area? And then what was the result of that?
Yeah, same area for sure. As long as it's close to post, it's fine with me. So still Watertown area. Yeah, just do the same thing. Just repeat. Realtor.com. Appointment, go check out. Yeah, that's it. Too easy.
I love it, man. She made it say. She said it's easy. Y'all hear that? But I love that because you don't overcomplicate it. So many people overcomplicate it. But guys, real estate is one asset class that is so forgiving. Like, just run your numbers, keep it general. What's going to be the mortgage payment? What's the rehab? And will it cash flow? What's it going to rent for? Is it in a good location that I'm comfortable with, where I have property management that can handle it? Yes, across the board. Great. Go for it. Now, let's say something happens next year and a big expense happens. Okay. Yes, you may have to do insurance. Yes, you may have to pay and get the repair fixed. But guess what? That repair is now a tax write-off. It hedges against your taxes. Great. Now you hold it for the next 10 years. You're going to have appreciation, depreciation, cash flow. It will all balance out. It's one of the most forgiving asset classes. So if you don't complicate it, you can scale just as quickly as Mincy's doing. It's amazing. So good stuff.
Yo, that's awesome. All right. So let's walk us through the second duplex. What it looked like? Would you, you said you did a different financing method this time. Why did you choose a different financing method? And then can you just walk us through the numbers and what that looked like?
Yeah, the VA loan wasn't get approved for sure at that point. And then I compared the interest rate. I did talk to 3-4 banks, and then the local bank, one of the local bank gave me the best interest, 1 to 5, something like that was low, the lowest one. So I picked this one, and the banker helped me go through the process. But during the COVID, because of COVID, so the process took actually 4 months to complete. Yeah. So I found the house October. I closed the house 3 days before I PCS in February. 3 days. Yeah, I closed the house on Wednesday. I left for drum on Saturday.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's nice. All right. So went to a local bank. And you got some interest rate for an investment loan at that time. You didn't think you were going to be able to use the VA loan, knowing that you were literally about to leave. So didn't think you were going to be able to use the VA loan to help that qualify. It probably would have took longer actually if you would have used the VA loan. But I do want to touch on something. If she didn't have orders, you would have easily been able to use the VA loan, but that's okay. Just for others out there listening, if you're thinking, hey, I'm about to PCS, but you don't have orders yet, you can still use your VA loan to buy that next property or buy a property if you need to, because as you know, we're in the military. Sometimes your orders might get canceled. You know what I mean? So the point is with using the VA loan, you must intend to occupy. So you can still write an offer, get accepted, start going through the process because you intend to occupy that residence. And then if you get orders, even if you got orders 2 days after, closing on the property, it's still fine because you intended to actually occupy that residence. So just wanted to throw that out there. But use a different loan product. Went to a local bank this time, and you got a rental loan. What did the what did that process look like? You said 4 months, but how close was it to your first duplex? And then can you walk us through some of those numbers as well?
So the second house is even cheaper because second house is even older. It's 150 years old, something like that. And the loan, the price was 95,000, 95 for duplex with 2 tenants already there for 4 years. Good deal. I can smell cash when I saw this house.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Yeah. So you know, why searching for the second house? I saw another unit, not duplex. One unit, five units, for 140,000 something. When I saw the picture, I called my realtor agent right away. Hey, let's set up an appointment. I can smell cash on this one.
Yeah.
And she called and said, oh, too late. Someone already make appointments pending or whatever. So, and then I found this one. 95 is not bad at all.
Hey, that's great. 95,000 for a duplex. You almost got a 5-unit there for 145, which would have been
a couple days.
That's
insane.
That's crazy though. So we're talking about, if you're listening, we're talking about all in the matter of what, a year, maybe like a little over a year and some change.
Yeah.
All this happened within okay. So you closed on that second property for 95. You had 2 tenants in it already. What were they paying?
They pay $875 and $800.
Jeez, oh my gosh, so over $1,600 you're cash flowing on a property that's $95,000. I mean,
I only went to this house twice.
No.
And then that's it, cash.
That is absolutely amazing. And with your mortgage is like what, $300, $400?
No, not that. It's 900 something.
Okay.
900, yeah.
Okay, but even still, I mean, so your cash flowing $700-ish on a rental property, plus the free and clear duplex that you have right now, that's absolutely amazing. And on top of that, you're going to be able to take advantage of some appreciation. I know Watertown doesn't appreciate as much, but you're able to take advantage of some appreciation. Then the debt pay down, that's the big thing on that, especially that $95,000 one. The debt pay down, the tax advantages, and everything, and the cash flow and everything else that comes with owning those rental properties. So that's phenomenal. Kudos to you. It's just so awesome to see, you just doing amazing things out there. When you told me you had the second duplex, or you're doing the second duplex, I was like jumping up and down. And then, like you guys know, if you guys don't know already, you guys have probably heard about me talk about a couple soldiers, and this is one of them. If you listen to some past episodes, I've been like, hey, I got 2 soldiers that they went and bought 2 duplexes already. And it's just awesome to hear you guys just crushing it, and you completely changed your financial trajectory. Not to say you're doing bad before, but this is another level, and this is another level to your growth in the financial space, right? It's your personal finance. And then you can take this and teach this to your soldiers, right? And you can take this and you can teach this to your family members, and it just doesn't stop, right? So I just love everything about your story. It's amazing.
Thank you. Yeah, since I'm deploying next month, right now I'm really want to save money during the deployment and go back to Watertown. That's my goal next year. Go back to buy more. I don't want to live there for sure, but it's real good. It's really good real estate business area.
Yeah. And I love that, because that goes back to the old adage of invest where it makes sense. Live where you want, live where you need to, but invest where it makes sense. And you've now found you a nice little market where everything works the way that it does and the way that you like it. So yeah, go all in, right? Get you 10 units, maybe 20 units. And then once that when you feel like you have a solid foundation in that market, now explore somewhere else. When your cash flow is $10,000 a month, $15,000 a month. Okay, great. This is stabilized. Now I can explore a different market. But I love that plan. Absolutely. Go over there, buy it all. If you need a partner, let me know. You got some good cash flow.
Watertown's a great cash flow market. That's one thing I definitely realized up there. It's an excellent cash flow market. So I'm just happy to see you do that. One time, hopefully we'll get Specialist Ajit on here to tell his story too. He's another one that got 2 duplexes.
Actually, he's about to sell his house to another soldier in the unit.
Yeah, it's all good. That's all good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so now that you've gotten these two duplexes, I know you're in Germany right now, and it seems like you said you're saving money. So, and you're going to deploy, and then you're going to come back, and then you're going to go back to Watertown and buy more. Knowing what you know now, are you going to do anything differently, or do you have any, I guess, lessons learned for someone that might be trying to do the same thing?
I'm probably going to do the same thing. Yeah, it's easy, wonderful. Why not?
Yeah.
Just repeat bird strategy.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I love it.
Oh my gosh. It's like I said, it's just great, man. I'm super happy over here, man. My heart's full right now. It's just, it's awesome. It's awesome.
You opened this window in my life.
What's that?
You opened this window in my life.
Yeah,
changed my life.
That's great, man. That's great. It's great to see you taking action and doing it. Are you gonna start scaling up, or are you gonna continue to go for duplex? Is that going to be like your thing, duplexes and small multifamilies, or is your plan to eventually start scaling up as well?
I don't want single family. Minimum duplex. If more unit, even better. Nice. But duplex or single family, I'm not fine about single family. I was thinking single family usually for a family with kids. With kids, they can destroy the house even they're so little. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm not ready for single family yet. Just a duplex.
Okay. So sticking to the duplexes. That's good. All right. So yeah. So I don't really have any other questions right now, man. I'm just too happy over here. I'm just super happy over here. You know. So you got anything, Mike?
No. So, I mean, now that you have this experience and you've walked a mile in the shoes of not only being a soldier, but now being a beginner real estate investor to a place where you're confident and you're comfortable now, what would be a piece of advice that you would give any soldier who's contemplating how to start their journey? What advice would you give them?
If only one word, I will pick execution. You just do it. Yeah. You just do it. You have a lot of great idea, opinion, whatever. If you just keep in your mind, it means nothing. Just do it. Don't think too much. Don't think about the insurance, the credit score, whatever. No, credit score, the bank will help you figure it out. And the insurance, it's the business. You're gonna have some cost no matter what. But you know this is gonna be a successful business for sure. So just do it. Don't think too much.
I love it. Like Nike. Just do it. You know, Dale Carnegie said that book knowledge without application is basically a waste. And I forget his exact quote, but people can study, but without actually taking action, it's pointless. And so I love your point. Just execute, just do it, because that process of trial and error is how you learn. You will learn so much just by doing it. And once you do it once, it becomes easier to do it again. And then it becomes easy, just like Vinci said. All right. So now you're dropping all this knowledge. You know, you're in Germany currently, but if people wanted to reach out to you to get some tips and tricks of how you did it, or learn more about Watertown, they might be trying to steal your investment area. But nonetheless, how can people get in touch with you?
I can be found on Facebook. Yeah, I don't have other social media, just Facebook. First name, last name. Yeah.
I love it. And we'll be sure to put that in the show notes. And that's another perfect example, guys. People talk about, in order to be successful in real estate, you have to have all of these platforms and be on all this. Nope. She's got Facebook. That's
Facebook, make sure you follow the Military Cashflow page.
Oh, yes. I love it. Shameless plug.
Oh, yes. Man. Oh.
We didn't pay her for that, guys. We didn't pay her for that.
I like that. I like
But
that.
you need to keep educating yourself, keep learning, stop it, don't stop. You're not expert. You be humble, learn from other people. So I follow the group and follow the YouTube.
I love it, man. I love it.
Nice.
Yeah, you never know everything. We're
Right.
constant lifelong learners.
There's going to be somebody that gets a lot of information out of this. And the thing we love about interviewing different guests is everybody has a different journey, right? Even though they might be investing in the exact same thing, their journey might be different. And that there might be something that you said, like the Mabney piece. I'm sure there's somebody out there listening that might be going through the same thing and thinking, man, she is like me.
Right.
If she can do that, then I can do that too,
Mhm.
right? So and that's the thing I love about highlighting different people's story, and then putting it out to the world to share, because everybody gains a little bit of something off of every single episode, because there's something here that resonates with someone, right? And I hope that, if you're listening to this, you do reach out to Sarn Wong there, and get that advice, man. She's there. She's extremely intelligent person, very, very hardworking. I can't say enough great things about her. And she's got my stamp of approval. You know what I mean? So, so definitely military cash flow certified, man. So definitely, go check her out. Listen to ask for advice. I'm sure she'll be happy to help. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We really, really appreciate that. That's pretty much it, man. If you guys are watching this on YouTube, make sure to hit the like button, hit that notification bell, leave a comment below. Let us know if you have any questions for Sarah Wong. I'm sure she'll answer back on the YouTube page. If you're watching this or if you're listening to this, excuse me, on podcasts, and make sure you leave us a review. We really appreciate those. Other than that, just join the Facebook group and you can get in contact with all of us there. If you have any questions, a large group there that's readily available to help you out with any questions that you may have regarding real estate or anything else that's involving cash flow, right? Military cash flow. So with that, this is Dan Wynn
Mike Glassby.
signing off.